Well, can you beat a view like that? Welcome back to a new episode of Maksim Outdoors, and I'm taking you to an all-new state park this week. I'm sure you already seen in the title, I'm here at Linn Run State Park. This is number 19 for the channel. So hopefully you guys are enjoying my little exploration of all the Pennsylvania state parks. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you go back and check out some of the prior ones. So anyway, I'm standing here right along Linn Run, where this state park gets its name from. As you can see, there's a little bit of snow on the ground due to that nasty polar vortex that rolled through the area just a couple days ago. So it went from about -20 with the wind chill in this area to 32 degrees today. So we're going to be seeing a lot of snow melt off and whatnot all throughout today. And tomorrow it's going to be even warmer, 45 degrees. So I figured today would be a perfect time to hike up to a waterfall. So we're actually going to be crossing that bridge down below and heading up this hill and heading down that way. There's a waterfall down in this area somewhere called Adam Falls. So this is probably the 4th time I've done this trail, and I will say this, Adam Falls isn't the best waterfall. Every time I've gone here, it's been a trickle. So I'm a little bit excited to see what it's going to be doing today. So anyway, I'll quit yapping here. This is Linn Run State Park. I'm going to be doing probably 2 videos here, but today we're going to be heading to Adam Falls and checking out some old ruins along the way. Alrighty. Yeah, like I said before, it's pretty tough to beat views like this in the winter with that late rising sun hitting off of the Rhododendron and Linn Run. But we are officially across the bridge here away from the parking lot. You can see the truck over there, and you're kind of confronted with the sign Adam Falls to the right and Flat Rock to the left. So long story short, we're going to be doing Adam Falls Trail today. It's only 1 mile, but it is considered difficult hiking. It is pretty rocky, and it's going to make it even more difficult today in the snow. So we're going to be doing Adam Falls this week, and make sure you're subscribed because we're going to be doing Flat Rock next week. So I'm going to make this a 2-parter. That way, you know, these videos aren't getting too long. So we're going to head up this hill here and go check out Adam Falls. Hopefully there's a little bit of water coming off of it at least. Well, here's a little bit of history that kind of sticks out like a sore thumb here in the winter. It's basically a triangle made of some old stonework. And in case you didn't know, Linn Run was heavily shaped and formed by the CCC back in the 1930s. And I believe this is something that they would have came out and made. It almost looks like a type of spring. And at the top here, if you look, it's all kind of open. I believe rainwater would just fill this up, and you could probably fill your cup up from that. I don't know if I would do that nowadays, but yeah, the CCC came out to this area, planted trees, built cabins, probably helped, you know, develop the road system, bridges, you name it. Everything out here could pretty much attribute to them, and this is the first sign of that I've run into so far today. But I believe we'll be running into some old block cabins out in the woods today as well. And yeah, this guy's just sitting right underneath an old hemlock tree. It might have been planted the same year that this was built. So cool little bit of history here for you guys. And we're not too far from Adam Falls here, so let's go check it out here. Well, here we are, officially made it to Adams Falls. You can see the bridge down below, but I do want to say this: the trail to get here is extremely short. It only would take about 5 minutes to get here from the parking lot, so you don't necessarily have to hike that entire 1 mile loop. So I'd even say if you have somebody that is in a wheelchair, you could probably easily bring them up here, but might be a little difficult getting them down to this bridge here. But yeah, no, there's a couple people out there that follow this channel that are wheelchairs or older, and I like to throw that out in video. So we're gonna head down this short little hill in this hemlock grove and take you down and show you Adams Falls here. Well, here we are right at the tippy top here of Adams Falls. Probably about a 15-foot drop, maybe a little bit higher, but you can see pretty much all frozen over, and really not that great of a vantage point here, but definitely one of the cooler bridges you will see in all of the state park systems right here. I'm gonna see maybe if I could get down this hillside here, but might be easier said than done. If not, we'll see if we can get a better vantage point from up on that hill. But yeah, here's the frozen over Adams Falls here. All right, well, here we are. Actually, wasn't that bad to get down here. Nice look at the frozen over Adams Falls, and I will say this: been out here in just about every season besides winter, and this is by far the coolest I've seen it. You can see really just a hemlock tree kind of just frozen over from getting hit by all the frozen mist coming off this waterfall here. But yeah, really awesome. All right, well, one last look at the waterfall here before we hit the rest of the trail. This is probably only maybe 1/8 of a mile in from the parking lot. But yeah, pretty crazy to think that all this ice will probably be melted by the weekend here. So we're gonna head back up this hill and continue on the Adams Falls Trail. But yeah, if you have the chance, I would definitely come out here in the wintertime because that's awesome. Well, I can't say I've ever been into this part of the park, but if you follow the Adams Falls trails across the bridge and kind of meander a little bit off trail here, you get this pretty spectacular view of the waterfalls once again. I don't know if you just heard that, but that was the ice falling down and melting as we're standing here. But yeah, you can see the bridge that we crossed there a couple minutes ago, and possibly one of the best views of the waterfall here in the park. This would be a great place to put a little bench. But yeah, one last look at Adams Falls. I know I said that before, and we're going to continue on in this wintry landscape in Westmoreland County. Oh, you might be wondering why this trail is considered difficult, like I said before, but here you can kind of get a sense of how rocky this terrain is. So this would be difficult in the summer, and doing it in the ice makes it even more fun. Lots of these ankle breakers and, you know, big boulders that you have to worry about, you know, stepping in a hole that you can't see. So you definitely want to take your time coming out here. But another thing that I noticed is obviously a lot of people head to Adams Falls and turn around. You can see by the marks in the snow here that the foot traffic here really isn't too crazy. It looks like maybe, I'd say 5 to 6 people probably came back here since the snowfall, which was a couple days ago. So this obviously isn't very well worn down trail, at least, you know, not in the end of December. So but I'm not the only crazy guy that's out here hiking out in the snow. So yeah, so we talked a little bit about the history of this park. The CCC came back here in the 30s, obviously helped improve all the infrastructure, roadways, built cabins, trails, planted trees, you name it. But a little bit more of the history before the CCC came here. So this is one of the oldest state parks in Pennsylvania, established back in 1909. I believe it's one of the oldest here in Western Pennsylvania, and if not in the top 10 oldest state parks in PA. But like so many other parks in Pennsylvania, this area was totally timbered, and the state bought it in, I believe it was the early 1900s, might have been 1909. And a lot of people questioned the people that bought this, like, why would you purchase this wasteland? There was literally nothing here. The pamphlet that I read basically said, like, it's really hard to understand what this landscape looked like back in the early 1900s. Like I said, it would have just been a barren wasteland. Wildfires were rampant, and pretty much the only thing that was growing out in these areas were like blackberry brambles, you know, those real nasty thick thorns that would just cover the land. And the CCC eventually came out and you know, made this park into what it is today. So, you know, almost took over 100 years for this place to get to where it is now. And we're looking at a second growth forest here, even though there are some pretty big trees like this one in front of me here. But yeah, so the lumber industry obviously came out and devastated this area like it did so many other places in Pennsylvania. And yeah, the rest is history, really. So this park was established back in 1909. It's relatively small. It's only about 600 acres and boasts, I think, just under 4 miles of hiking trail, all of which we're going to be doing on this trip. So if you aren't subscribed and you want to see more from this beautiful park, make sure you hit that button, because we're going to be doing at least 2 episodes here. So yeah, a little bit of history and information on this area here in Westmoreland County. A lot of people think this is Somerset, but it's actually Westmoreland County. So this trail is definitely not too well maintained, as you can see here. Imagine what this would be in the summer months. Well, as you can see, this trail is pretty rough, and in the winter months it makes following trails even that more difficult. But one thing I did learn over my years of hiking is always look for cut timber, because that's pretty much going to show you where the trails are. State Park Service and Forestry Service will come out and clear the trails most of the time. So we kind of had to hike around this thicket here, but eventually did find my way back to the trail, which is just ahead here. You can see all these jaggers and brambles and everything that I'm heading through right now. Well, that's what this entire area would have been back in the 1900s, if you can imagine that. So yeah, we're getting back on the trail here. Well, like I said at the beginning of the video, it's going to be around 35 to 40 degrees here in the next coming days, and probably by tomorrow a lot of the snow is going to be melted. But like so many other parts of the country, Pennsylvania here, especially up in the mountains, got blasted pretty good by that polar vortex that came through right around Christmas. And you heard a lot about like the flash freeze and everything. You can really see how evident that is out on the trail. I mean, the groundwater probably came up and just instantly froze. A lot of places in PA were experiencing anything from like negative 20 degrees with the wind chill. But yeah, this trail has been pretty interesting. Literally ice skating along here. But yeah, I mean, straight ice. So that just gives you a good feel of how cold it was here, you know, a week ago. And to make things even crazier, it's supposed to be 70 here in the next couple days. So yeah, almost what, 90-degree temperature change from negative 20 to 70. So that's Pennsylvania for you, I guess. All right, well, we are descending down back towards Linn Run at the pretty much end of the Adden Fall Trail here. And as promised, I did remember the right trail. Here's a couple of the ruins there through the woods. So we're gonna head up there and explore these a little bit. You can see one of the old fireplaces straight ahead there, as well as this one. So let's go and take a closer look at these guys here. All right, well, here is ruin number one here, as we'll call it. Really not too sure of the history here. I did hear that has something to do with the CCC, maybe like their bunkhouse or something that the CCC boys would have stayed in back in the 30s, or could have predated that. This could have been an old hunting camp before this area was all logged out. But I think the last time I was here, this chimney was actually still standing. And yeah, I don't know if it was from wind or people coming out here, but it looks like the chimney isn't standing any longer. And we'll get a closer look here. Yeah, I mean, we talked about lime a little bit last week, I believe, and they would have extracted that lime from limestone and made, you know, stuff like this from that lime. That's what those lime kilns were for. But see, this is still standing to this day. And it looks like there's even an old, almost fell in a hole there. Maybe a spring for a mattress, looks like. Not really sure what the steel pipe is for surrounding this. I don't know, maybe they had this like barred off before or something. Not really sure what that would be for. And then you can see an old foundation of maybe a separate piece of this building here. You can see it squares off there, but yeah, so this is ruin number one, and I could see ruin number two on through the woods there. That one looks to be in better shape than this one. And I just noticed standing up here, now you see some old brick here as well. But it looks like the inside of this chimney was, I think this is all terracotta pipe here, or terracotta I should say. So yeah. If anybody might know the history about these, let me know down in the comments. But yeah, here's a look at ruin number one here. All right, well, here's a new ID for 2023. This was the first white-tailed deer I got on camera. So I'm not sure what number we're up to now, but looks like a little doe. Not really caring too much that I'm here. So add that one to the list. First deer of the year. There's another one up there too somewhere. I think it might have ran off, but All right, cool. All right, well, here we are at the second bit of ruins here, Linn Run State Park. This one is obviously a little bit more complete than the first one we stumbled upon. The old fireplace here, still standing to this day. Like I said, I'm not quite sure what these guys were originally built for. I don't know if they were CCC camps or maybe old hunting camps built in the late 1800s maybe. But you can see another bit of wall right here. This would have been a fairly decent sized camp or lodge, whatever you want to call it, but not as much to see at this second ruin here. Although this area looks like this could have been maybe part of a house as well. You can see how level and squared off that is. So, all right. Ruins, Waterfalls, and Wildlife. It's a good name for a channel out there. There you go. Somebody copyright that. All right, everybody, that's gonna pretty much wrap up this episode. We're almost back to Adams Falls here. So this episode had a little bit of everything. Had a lot of fun coming out here and checking this all out in the snow. Got to see some old ruins, a pretty awesome frozen over waterfall, and even made an ID or two today. So hopefully you guys all enjoyed it. And speaking of ruins, next week we're gonna be doing the Flat Rock Trail, which I'm gonna be doing here in just a couple minutes. But it has probably the coolest ruin that you will see in all of Pennsylvania. It's an old hunting camp, and it makes these look like nothing. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you are, because that's going to be next week. So stay tuned for that. And as always, thanks for coming out and watching these videos. It means a lot to me. Hit that like button if you can. Leave me a comment. Tell me what these were used for. Check me out on Instagram and Facebook as well if you're bored and want to see some behind the scenes kind of stuff. But all right, guys, I will see you back here at Linn Run State Park next week, checking out more ruins.